Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a special episode of the Mindful Muscle Podcast. We have a fabulous story today, but let me say hello to my co-host, Jodi. How you doing?
I'm great. If you're new here, welcome. Gio and I are two friends who went on our own health and wellness journeys and have collectively lost and maintained a 140-pound weight loss. But more
Amen.
importantly, we've gained strength, confidence, and a better relationship with our health. We're here to show others, especially those just starting out, that sustainable change is possible and you are absolutely worth the effort. So if you're on your health and wellness journey, be sure to like and subscribe to Mindful Muscle today.
Amen for that. And Jodi, our guest today, Dr. Ron Dupree. Look, this is an amazing story we're going to hear today because what we talk about on the Mindful Muscle Podcast is about living life long into our healthy years. Ron, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm very blessed. And by the way, you pronounce my name the way we do back in my home country, South Africa. But for the Americans, we say do pray, as in please do pray for me.
Okay. Let the people know endeavor you're undertaking. I love the name, by the way, but there was a change in the name from the original, and we'll talk about that.
Yes, we're calling this Senior Strides. Originally,
Mhm.
I may have used the word 50K project, but Senior Strides is what we're calling it. And specifically because we're hoping to encourage, empower, inspire people generally 65 and over to get out and move or move more.
Mhm. Why is that so important as we age to keep moving?
Statistically, in the most recent stats I was able to find, there are about 58 million seniors, 65 plus, in the United States. And of the 58 million, 8 million get the needed physical exercise, including aerobic as well as muscle strengthening. That means
Mm.
50 million of us, I'm talking about myself and people 65 and older,
Mm.
are not getting what is recommended. And of course, that means less than 1 in 7 are actually enjoying this abundant life that Jesus came to offer us. So I'm out there to draw attention to the importance. As many now know, the term exercise is the new medicine has become quite popular, and it is very true. And so I'm finding that even though I'm 73, I'm able to go out and enjoy life, physical, mental, spiritual, all of that, because I'm reasonably healthy, because I try to take care of this body that God has blessed me with.
Yes, yes, and that's so important. I for as long as I've known you, you've been a runner and you've been running for a while. But this new endeavor, 50K day in 50 states in 50 days, why even undertake the endeavor?
Oh, Gio, you've asked a very important question. In the past, I've noticed that unless somebody undertakes something rather unusual, in the busy lives we live, in the distractions from so many things, including the attraction of social media, unless there is something that grabs people's attention, if there is, most likely they'll say, wow. And
Mhm,
after they say, wow, then they ask, why? And so this is the basic premise of what I'm doing. They will
mhm.
say, wow. And then, what is he doing? They'll say, he's crazy. They may be right. But the next important question is why. And when they
Mhm,
ask the why, then they can go to our website. If they want to read everything about it, they'll hear that the main focus, even though it's for everyone, we're looking especially at seniors, because otherwise we can't take care of ourselves and we become a burden to others as well. And we don't enjoy this abundant life that we can have.
Yes. Speaking of the website, for those who want to see it, seniorstrides.org. You see it up there. And here is there in bold print 50K day in 50 states in 50 days. Now,
Yeah, that's
earlier
the.
I meant,
Let me just say this:
go ahead.
that slash is 50 kilometers per day.
Yes.
When I ask
Hmm.
people, they say, "Hey, I've done a 5K. This is 10 times as much in each day, in every state." Yes, by the grace of God, 50K per day. Now, I've done 50Ks before and
Hmm.
longer. I'm an ultra athlete. I love going out there and doing these long distances. So make sure 50 kilometers every day. in 50 states in 50 days. That's literally 2,500 kilometers. In miles, 1,553, as I figured it out. And 50K, by the way, is 31.069. I rounded up to 31.07 miles per day. That's equivalent of a marathon plus about 5 miles.
Yes, and that's what I
Wow.
was going to bring up because when you were discussing it, at first it was going to be a marathon a day for 50 days in 50 states, but it doesn't have quite the ring as 50, 50, 50.
The 50-50-50 is easy to remember, correct.
Hmm.
And for those who ask questions, how do you get this done every day? Generally, 5 days a week. And you won't read this as easily, but 5 days a week, we're planning to start around 6:30 in the morning. And we're organizing with different senior centers Monday through Friday. We're going to invite those seniors to come and walk with us. So 6:30 in the morning, in whichever state I'm in, and not whichever physical state I'm in, but whichever
Hmm.
location I'm at.
Yes.
So when I'm in a location, I will then invite the seniors to walk with me, planning this ahead of time, obviously. 6:30 in the morning, what we'll do is we'll do a little warm up, a little stretching, and then we'll walk half a mile to a mile, depending on what those seniors want to do. After that mile is done, then I will go on and pretty much on my own do another 30 miles. Around lunchtime, if people want to join me, because from 7 till 12, I've got 5 hours of serious walking to do. At lunchtime, people can join me because we're going to do 5 or 10K loops, most likely 5K loops. And people
Hmm.
can join me around lunchtime as well. And then I'll walk at the rate of those who walk with me from around 12 till 1.
Is this your first time doing a challenge or of this size? Have you done something similar in the past?
Yes, I have. I'll back up to when I was in my 20s, Jody. Very
Hmm.
good question. I decided I'd done a couple of these events, but the one that I can share with you right here, I was doing a fundraiser for college students back in my home country of South Africa. And what I did then is I walked 1,000 kilometers, 621 miles, for those who want to know what the miles are, and did that in a total of 18 days. I took off the Sabbaths, but I walked 18 days. So 3 weeks, yes, back to back, literally. And so you know what that means. You're walking 18 days, 621 miles. We're doing more than I'm doing now. Obviously, that's
Hmm.
quite a while ago. So
Yes.
that's one of the ones that comes back that I did some time ago. Then one more when I turned 60, frankly, confession, I was feeling pretty down. I was
Mm.
comparing myself with my friends, all of the success they had, and they were moving into higher places. And I was a simple pastor, feeling a little despondent. I had a speaking engagement in Europe. And after the speaking engagement, I experimented, I can use the term. I walked and ran 7 marathons in 7 countries in 7 days in the middle of
Wow.
winter and drove myself from country to country and reserved hotels and found my own food in the countries in which I didn't speak the language. So if I found out that to celebrate turning 60, I could do 7 marathons in 7 countries in 7 days. And I waited till sunset on Saturday night to do the last marathon from 6 p.m. till 11:30 that night. So
Mm.
when I saw that's possible, and I was the driver and taking care of meals and reserving hotels, and I was doing it just for fun, I concluded maybe I should do something for a purpose. And right now, I've got an RV that's going to be with me in the lower
Mhm.
48 states. And I have a cook will go with me for 4.5 weeks. Then my wife will come and join us for the last two. So we'll have cook along the way, a media guy who's going to be driving. I have a mechanic for half of the trip. He'll be with us, making sure the RV is in tip-top condition. And then, most important, I have a major purpose, and
Mhm.
that is to highlight the importance of physical movement, exercise, because this is the only body we have to
Mhm.
live in, the body that, if we take care of it appropriately, we will be able to share the love of Jesus in a much more practical and powerful way for his glory.
Amen for that. Speaking of the body, right? For those who don't know you, because obviously this podcast goes to people who are of our faith and not, Jody's not of our faith, for example. What are the ways outside of physical exercise that you take care of your body?
Oh, wow. That's a huge question. Just a couple of nights before, this is literally today is Friday as we're recording. On Wednesday, I had the opportunity to go to a Blue Zones major event at the University of Redlands. And I
Hmm.
had the privilege of meeting Danny Butner. That's
Oh,
Dan Butner
yes. Yeah.
Jr.
Oh,
And he
okay.
made
His
the
son.
presentation. Yeah, the son of the Blue Zones kind of creator or inventor or discoverer, whatever the
Hmm.
right word is. And he shared what they call the power of nine. Okay, they have a power of nine, but I generally look at the major eight factors. Obviously, nutrition is very
Hmm.
important. And a little confession, I too was a little chunky. And on college days, I've lost 20 to 30 pounds and kept it
Hmm.
off. Okay.
Hmm.
But
Welcome
then
to the
over
club.
time, thank you. I'm glad to hear about the two of you. Really
Uh-huh.
proud of you guys. Awesome, man. But over time, I found out I began to tweak my diet, learned of the well known ultra marathoner by the name of Scott Jurek, and he's a
Oh,
vegan,
yes.
plant based. And so I became plant based almost 20 years ago.
Hmm.
Nutrition, obviously, exercise, liquid water. I try to consume literally something like 12 to 13 glasses per day. Okay, because again, I'm out exercising a lot, so I'm using up a lot. And of course, the rest: sunshine, moderation, or temperance, fresh air. I'm thankful to live in a place where there's mountains, beauty. I make sure I get rest. Now, frankly, confession again, getting ready for this 50-50-50, I have not gotten as much sleep as I know I should have,
Yes.
but I've been very careful not to get sick because that would
Hmm.
be a tragedy and a
Hmm.
real challenge. But lots and sufficient rest, 7 to 8 hours a night, and of course, as a Christian, trusting God and believing and following the way He has shared with us incredible information in the scriptures how to live better.
Amen for that. Amen for that.
Yeah. What has your training regimen looked like leading up to May 15th, which is around the corner at the time of this recording? And any changes you've made besides switching to plant-based since you were younger that you've
Yeah,
made to help you prepare?
yes, I have. I joined, believe it or not, for the first time, an online coaching group. Last year, maybe 6 months ago, I came across this coaching system and I thought, which was online, frankly, less than $1 a day. And I'm glad I did because this is one of the things I'm still learning. Listen, learn, be open, grow. And yes, I've been putting that into practice, especially as you get older, the importance of down days or rest days. In fact, they say
Mm.
your easy day must be really easy. So, talking about training, I used to push myself very hard before. Now I'm very committed to making sure that my rest days or my easy days are really easy. I'll go for an easy walk, 20 minutes per mile, just to recover. So my recovery days have become very critical. And I believe that's one of the reasons. And again, I want to give God the praises here because I ran the Los Angeles Marathon 6 or 7 weeks ago in the middle of May, in the busyness of getting ready for this event. Plus, I'm a full time pastor and I volunteer in two cities as a
Hmm.
volunteer hospital chaplain and a prayer coordinator for another city. But I didn't have enough time to do the training that I should have for the LA Marathon. But I learned now to take my rest days really easy. And sure enough, when I got to the Los Angeles Marathon, which is one of the big five, as many know, in the United
Hmm.
States: Chicago, New York,
New York.
Honolulu, Boston, and LA.
Hmm.
And it is the 40th running of the LA Marathon. And my goal was simply to break 4 hours. And I had done the training I should have. I knew I was too busy, but I had been pretty consistent and making sure my rest days were easy. Of course, with a plant based diet, all the rest. Sure enough, when I got there, the weather was perfect. I felt good, ran with a 4 hour group, and I managed, by God's grace, to come in at 3 hours, 59 minutes, 43 seconds, 17 seconds inside of that. So, again, constantly learning, constantly growing, reading, not just being stuck in a rut. In fact, I also took more gels with me. Again, listening to my coach, carrying more gels. Okay, and sure enough, the gels helped. The rest days helped, and the pacing helped. And of course, so I am learning and changing things as I'm growing.
There it is. There's a picture of him finishing the race, and you can see the time there. And so that's awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
So yes,
Just
I hope
under
that
4
answers your
hours.
yeah, I hope it answers your question. And one more thing I should say, not to boast, but showing the value of living this abundant life. I checked the results afterwards about 5 hours later. I found out that a total of 209 people, 70 plus, had actually had entered the race. Frankly, 17 had dropped out, so 192 finished. But of the 192, 70 plus, I was the only one to break 4 hours, and the next person who came in about 7 to 8 minutes later.
Mm.
So again, I'm so grateful. I'm praising God for his mercy and learning as I go, making sure I try to follow a healthy, balanced lifestyle, not just health style, but every aspect.
I love what you say about rest because so many people, when they start getting into the healthier lifestyle, they start working on fitness. There's so much guilt. And I've been that person that has felt completely guilty taking a rest day. But what is your plan with rest during this 50-day stretch? How do you plan on keeping up with what you've learned?
Very important. Yeah, because people say 50 days, so you're never taking time off. Confession again. What I've decided to do is unusual. Most people recognize that the day goes from midnight to midnight. Seventh Adventists go for Friday evening to Saturday evening, sunset to sunset. But I've come up with a new trick. Forgive me. My day goes from sunrise to sunrise. Watch
Mhm.
now. So my Thursday walk in Honolulu is sunrise Thursday morning till sunrise Friday morning. I have that 24 hours. My
Mhm.
Friday walk starts Friday morning in Anchorage, and technically 24 hours later, I should be done by Sabbath morning or Saturday morning at sunrise, right? Now, so I'm planning to be finished by Friday afternoon because I start at sunrise. I
Mhm.
say sunrise, I'm using a round term. The sun rises throughout the United States during the time I'm walking no earlier than 6:30. So my day begins at 6:30 every day. So on Friday morning I start at 6:30, I'm done by for the latest 4:30. Done with those 10 hours. And then I do not do any 50K until Saturday night after sunset, which means I get off about close to 30 hours rest.
Yes.
Now, in that 30-hour period, I will be encouraging people to go with me for a 1 or 2 mile, or at most a 5K, 3.1 mile walk, a nature walk, for example,
Mm.
during the hours of the Sabbath. But I am resting for about 30 hours. Then, after sunset on Saturday night, for example, Loma Linda, I'm going to go to the villa, walk with them a mile to the Drayson Center, 1 mile. And then Saturday night after sunset, I have registered for an actual 30-mile race. So that's the
Mm.
way I'll get my 31 miles in. I'll
Mhm.
do the race. It's called the Born to Run race at Mount, what's it? A place called St. I think Olivos. Anyway, so I'm going to be there. And then after that, I'll be done maybe 3 in the morning or so. And then they drive me to the next location. So I get to sleep about 7 hours. Saturday night sleep is a little less.
Mm.
Sleep about 7, but I've had 30 hours of rest. So Sunday morning we'll be in Hoover Dam, and
Oh,
by 11
nice.
o'clock in the morning, I hope to go and walk there and get some nice iconic shots.
Nice.
So does it help to explain it? I still get in a day or more.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right, so
That's
you see how,
awesome.
yes,
technically
yes,
30 hours is, yeah, it's more than 24 hours. So you're
correct,
weaving it in there. Um,
right.
was what was the strategy between picking the actual dates? Because, like you said, on the 15th you'll be in Honolulu, then Anchorage,
Yes,
then Loma Linda, then Hoover,
correct.
then St. George, Utah. What was the thinking behind the route?
Oh, that's an excellent question. Firstly, of course, we have to do Honolulu and Anchorage. There's an overnight flight which I've taken before, and I've experimented in a sense. I did 350Ks in the middle of winter a couple,
Mm,
2, 3 years ago. Found that it was the wrong time to do it. Number two, I had
okay.
no support crew, and I didn't have a real focus of a purpose. But I know that the first three places are okay, and number three, Loma Linda. Then we want to go the southerly route. And remember,
Mm,
this is springtime. as it's going to
Mm,
get warmer and warmer. So we'll go the southerly route to begin with. I use southerly because we're going to zigzag along the south,
mhm.
Texas, etc., down to Florida, up the eastern seaboard, up north, and then we will cut across and go more or less what I call the northern states till we get to Washington, then Oregon, and we'll go through the central states. It's like a spiral.
Okay.
We end up through the central states, ending up on the morning just before sunrise of July 4 in St. Louis, Missouri, at the great, what do they call it, the Gateway Arch. And the reason I'm planning it springtime because the weather is better. Number two, a spiral will save mileage because just gas alone is estimated to be about $5,000 for this project. And
Mercy.
we had to say, how are we going to keep the costs low? Because it's not, this is not sponsored by the church per se. Now, thank God, people have been helping. The General Conference Health Ministries have just agreed they're going to put a few thousand in, and materials have come. People have been donating. But so the route ends us really at July 4 at the Gateway Arch because that is within the first 24 hours of the global Seventh day Adventist business session called the General Conference in Session. So I will be ending up there on July 4. And they've already asked me, assuming that by God's grace this will be successful, they've asked if I would make a presentation the next day about the 50-50-50. They've got they got some incredible faith in this
they
crazy old man.
they keep us busy. For those who don't know what the GC session that Ron brought up, just think of it as our church is a global church, so it's like a big board meeting that we take place
Yes, I like that.
every 5 years, just to
Yes,
simplify it for
right,
people.
right.
Once again, you heard that Ron is taking this endeavor. If you go to the
Yeah.
website, there is a donate button there, and you can help
Uh-huh.
him with this cause. I'm pretty sure any amount will be welcomed. So make sure if you want to help this cause, to just go to his website, press the donate button, and you can go ahead and do. And so now
Correct.
we're making this spiral right across the United States. On Saturdays, for example, I'm going to pick because I'm in Oklahoma now after 20 years in Texas. You're going to be in
Oh,
Oklahoma City on the 23rd. Do we know yet where exactly you're going to walk this?
correct. You Oklahoma City, and if you look back, the 22nd on Friday, I
Mm-hmm.
actually am planning. That is that a Thursday?
No, the 23rd in Oklahoma City is on a Friday. The 22nd, you're in New
Correct.
Mexico. Hmm.
Yeah, you have the schedule in front of you. We're actually driving from New Mexico, arriving in Oklahoma City
Hmm.
on that Thursday evening. Okay. So, yes, we finish the walk in Tucumcari, and then we drive that evening, and we arrive in Oklahoma City on the evening of the 22nd. I have an appointment to actually meet at the Epworth Villa there that evening to just chat with them, to invite them, notice again, to walk
Hmm.
with me on the 23rd, to join me at 6:30 Epworth Villa, right there in Oklahoma City. That's where we will be meeting Thursday evening around 6:30, 6:45 to chat, to visit a little bit. And then the next morning, the 23rd, at the Epworth Villa, we will go for a half an hour together walking. And then I will finish the walk on the 23rd in Oklahoma City, 50 kilometers. All right. And then after that, take some time off. And the next day, I'll actually be right there preaching at the church where my friend TJ Sands is the pastor.
Oh wow! I was gonna invite you to preach in my church. I'm in Oklahoma City Central, but he beat me to it. I know TJ.
Yeah, yes. So that's where I'll be the next on Saturday morning. I'm speaking for, and I'm actually sharing a story which the listeners, viewers will be
Mm,
interested in, of an accident I had while I served as a missionary in Zimbabwe. Fell off a
mm.
ladder 18 feet or so onto the concrete driveway, shattered my right heel, broke both my wrists, vertebra compressed, cracked my sternum, rushed to a hospital in Zimbabwe, where unfortunately I wasn't treated by a foreign doctor, ironically, and then almost died. And they airlifted me to Switzerland, where they pulled the bones apart after 3.5 weeks and reconstructed me. So I have titanium in my right foot and in both my wrists. And yes,
Mercy.
I do have some problems, of course, when I go through airports. But anyway, they, they check my wrists, sometimes my foot, because they do beep now and then when they check with a wand. But the point I'm making is this: when we have major challenges in life, there is life after these challenges if we choose. So, frankly, I couldn't walk after the accident. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't run. So, I got on a bicycle to try to get fit again because
Mhm.
I knew I could use the balls of my foot rather than the heel, which was crushed. It took me 5 years from that accident to get to run my first marathon after that. Long journey, quite a bit of pain, but thank God for good medical treatment, good physiotherapists, etc. And 5 years later, ran the Chicago Marathon and wasn't trying, but by God's grace, I qualified to run the Boston Marathon
Mm.
because I ran it fast enough. After the accident, the lesson is before the accident, I had tried unsuccessfully for about a decade to qualify for the Boston Marathon. Never got it right. But once I had the accident and recovered, then I qualified.
That's a testament to not letting setbacks hold you back. And something
Correct.
we talk about here on the Mindful Muscle podcast is not just the physical, it's the mental. And so going along with that, you've been through these difficulties, but look, let's be honest. This in the most polite way. Normal people don't do 50K in 50 days in 50 states. So, how do you mentally prepare? You told us about the physical preparedness. How do you mentally prepare? Because I'm pretty sure there are going to be days where you're not going to feel your best, but I know you have the discipline to finish.
Yes, and that last word, discipline, is part of it, Joe. You've correctly hit on one important word, but you're right. How do I prepare mentally? Confession again, in the sense there are times when I love being alone. People don't believe this, but by nature, I'm actually an introvert and I
Mhm,
prefer to be out there just quiet. And I do take time while I'm out there. I'm thinking about the sermons I've got to preach. I'm actually praying for people on my prayer list. I'm actually dreaming, imagining what can be done in dreaming up crazy things such as the 50-50-50. How can I be a blessing to others? How can I impact them? So that one of the strengths of an introvert is you can go out there, you don't have to be talking to anybody. You can
mhm,
be with yourself. So I'll admit that's one of the strengths from that perspective. However, 50K is long, and I go out and I do a 50K on a Sunday just for fun, and it's quiet, it's long. So I do have my cell phone with me. Okay.
mhm,
I'll make phone calls. I will respond to them as needed. Again, I will actually sing while I'm out there. Okay.
mhm,
I'm there singing, I'm praying, but I'm also strategizing. I'm thinking now, what speed do I need to do the next 5K or 10K in? What is my pace? Where do I want to go? Which hills do I want to take? So I'm busy also thinking, what is the best for me to train? My mind is busy, even though I am out there alone. And importantly, I go out into nature. Right
mhm,
behind where I live, there's a BLM, the Bureau of Land Management area, all at the end of the street. And so I can go out there and there's beautiful nature on the way walking down there. Sometimes coyotes are out there, of course, rattlesnakes. So you have, yes, you got to be careful, but I'm very careful. I do not take wild, death defying risks. I do challenge myself, but I'm very vigilant as well. So I go out there, and one of the things I love to do, I'm out walking, listening to the bird, listening
mhm,
to the crickets, looking out at the beauty of nature, the
mhm.
mountains, the hills. I'm absorbing it. I am just enjoying life out in God's nature.
And that is good because those of us who live in cities, sometimes I remember I grew up in New York City, and sometimes I'd look up in the middle of Manhattan and the verse that says, the heavens declare the glory of God, but all I'm seeing is buildings and lights. It's good to be out in nature. It's good to
Correct.
quote unquote stop and smell the roses. Yes, I could see how that mentally prepares you for what's coming ahead. It's a big endeavor.
Do you have
Yes.
a mantra or scripture that keeps you going when it gets really hard?
One of the things I do almost every day when I go out, and it's not just when it gets hard, I actually sing two songs. And that really helps me. And I sing it
Mm-hmm.
sometimes more than once when I'm out there. So that helps me. I sing my special songs. Trust in the Lord. That's one of them. And
Mm-hmm.
don't despair. Okay. And the other one is I just keep trusting my Lord. So if you want to call a mantra, my two go-to songs are
Mm-hmm.
songs that help me to keep trusting in God. Number one. Number two, it's not a mantra as much, but when I'm on a race, an ultra, a marathon, half marathon, anything that's long, to keep me mentally focused away from sometimes the pain, the exhaustion, the tiredness. I am looking for people to thank for their help. Every worker, every policeman, everyone on the way, I am making an effort to turn to them and say, thank you for being here. Thank you, officer. I am constantly directing gratitude to those who help to make my adventure, my fun possible. And I'll tell you, I learned that from, I think it was a running coach one day who was running with me. Just the attitude of gratitude
Mm-hmm.
changes your perspective. It takes the focus away from, yes, the pain, yes, the tiredness, yes, saying, why am I doing this crazy thing? You're looking at others and you are just so thankful for what they're doing. So, in a sense, that's my mantra is the attitude of gratitude and looking for people to thank.
Okay.
I don't just verbalize it. I go and I thank people. And of course, I'm thanking God that I can be out there doing that. So that's the best answer to the mantra question I could give. But that's how I survive on various things, including when I was 72 last year, I ran around, and this time I did it was a run around Lake Tahoe, 72 miles at 72 to celebrate God's grace. So
Mercy,
I enjoy
mercy.
these things anyway, but gratitude.
Jody and I are enjoying this, but I'll speak for myself. Both of us are not runners. We're more into weightlifting, but we can admire someone who could do 72 miles at the age of 72. When what I do know about running though is, for example, when somebody's preparing for a marathon, like a couple of days before, they're carb loading, right? And then they run. However, do you tweak it? Because now you're doing this every day, right? They're preparing for one race. How do you manage your nutrition leading up to it? And then how do you manage it in consecutive days, right? Now that you're doing this multiple days.
Very similarly, I will be doing carbo loading before, and generally I prefer whole wheat pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, different people prefer different things. That's my go-to. If I can get whole wheat pasta with marinara sauce, generally, and maybe a little bit of veggies or like beans and some broccoli. But then every day, like when I did the 7 marathon distances in Europe in 7 days, I made sure that every evening, I used to do it evening when I was done 4 or 5 o'clock, I would
Mm-hmm.
have a bowl of pasta for the next day. So I just kept on having a bowl of pasta and of course with some salad, but my focus was the carb loading. And then the next morning, I would literally take just a couple of power bars. That's all I would eat. Two power
Mm-hmm.
bars. That would fuel me for the full 26.2 miles. I would do that. And on the way, I would have some gels. Energy gels are just help to keep my level of energy up. So that's basically the pattern I followed in the past. Now, sometimes when I did the 72 miler, which we did as a straight event, it was a race. I myself prepared peanut butter and raisin sandwiches beforehand. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, peanut butter and raisins, or sometimes peanut butter and it's of course on whole wheat plant-based bread, but I would have a slice of vegan cheese on that. That's it. Peanut butter and raisins, peanut butter and vegan cheese. Now, the problem with the peanut butter and raisins, going around Lake Tahoe, I didn't realize how mountainous it was. It was 20 degrees while we were going out there, and the raisins are pretty hard to chew when they're 20 degrees.
Okay.
So I learned an important lesson. You got to know the temperature before you prepare your food to know what you're going to eat.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I would have never thought of that, having to worry about
No.
frozen raisins.
yes. So that's it. Yeah, but I snack in between, if I can use the term,
Hmm.
to keep my energy levels. And I make sure I have Powerade, water, make sure my electrolyte levels
Levels.
are good. A little secret I'll share with folk. Now, you guys are
Hmm.
still young.
Hmm.
Together, your ages together are less than my age, I'm assuming.
No, not really.
Not really.
We're a lot
Okay.
older than we look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That means you're fit and healthy. All right.
Yes. For the record, I'm 52 and Jody's pushing close to 50
I'm
in a couple of
43 right
years.
now.
Wow, look at
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. That's the thing. When you live healthfully, you look younger. Yeah. But the point I was trying to make is that the older you get, if you are conscious of healthy living, especially exercise, you learn to listen to your body.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying on these events. I try to make sure I'm listening. I don't wait until I'm thirsty and it's too late. I don't wait until I'm exhausted. So I make sure I maintain my level of nutrition, my level of liquid, my level of rest, everything, because I'm trying to listen to my body. Yes. That covers pretty much on the road. And I don't mind making exceptions. Somebody says, hey, here's some dates with the nuts inside, and other
Hmm.
folk who know about. I listen. I'm learning.
Hmm.
Again, I'm not stopping the growth that I'm on. I tell people, get on the journey and keep learning. To me, that's
Yes.
part of the fun of this. Now, one more thing I want to make sure people know.
Go
The
ahead.
50K per day is walking. I will
Hmm.
not be running for this event at all.
But
It's
that's
50
still a
kilometers
lot.
per. Yes, but I'm just letting people know I'm not trying
Hmm.
to to run, only walking, no
Hmm.
running involved at all. Now, one more thing, I did have the chance to train under a couple of former Olympic coaches, and they taught me how to do what's called race walking, speed walking within the rules of the Olympic race walking. So that's one thing I actually do quite a bit of. My training often is more of what some of them call it the shuffle run when I'm
Hmm.
training, but it's a form of race walking without following the rules, but mainly using my upper body to move and of course, one foot on the ground at all times, which I think helps to avoid the pounding and the joint problems that so many people have. So
Hmm.
I'm actually a race walker, or what I call an aerobic or power walker, and I do most of my training by means of this race walking, power walking. And
Hmm.
I believe that's what's helped me and saved my knees for the last 20, 25 years, because that's what I've been doing since around the age of 50.
Okay. As you're doing these 50 days, are you always going to have someone accompany you? Like, is someone going to help? I don't want to say
Yes,
pace, but somebody, for safety reasons.
we will have somebody who's my media tech guy, as well
Hmm.
as he's going to be driving, but we're going to do 5K loops, most likely. That's what we're looking at.
Hmm.
And it's not going to be out in the middle of nowhere, number one. And number two, we're having what we call a drone. I just got it this
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
That will be with us as well, so they can track me with that. Plus, a new camera is supposed to arrive that you can put on a selfie stick that's actually 9 feet long. Plus, we have two bicycles that will be with us, maybe an e-bike as well. And so I have other folk who will be, and others can join me, by the way, people who contact me ahead, but we will have support crew that will be with me. Not every single second, but I will have folk with me as part of my support crew. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you're not going to be long stretches without somebody knowing your whereabouts.
Correct. They will
Hmm.
be able to track me. In fact, we are working on a system of geolocating. The son of my media guy is a geolocator, and he is actually doing that so they will know exactly where I am, pretty much at all times, cell phone with me, and so forth. And yes, I've done things that were more, for lack of a better term, risky than what I'm doing here, where I've been isolated in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone coverage in mountains in snow,
Mm.
alone,
Yeah.
which wasn't wise. My hiking buddy, I was too slow for him, and I said, "Go ahead," and I was alone. This is comparatively, relatively safe.
Let me ask you a question about the website, right? So the website has, in this kind of form, the first 6 events. Will it continue to update as you complete them?
Correct. And this, what you're
Okay.
showing, is exactly what my immediate text son is establishing now. He's
Hmm.
busy working on it. This part is actually experimental at this point in time, but since we're starting next week, we will have it actually up and operating from the 15th, and it will put us exactly where we are now. The young man who did it, he didn't realize we were going to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and he located us at the south rim. Okay,
Okay.
but we are going to track it to the spots, and everybody will be able to actually follow us where we are as we're going. We're at this place, we're at that place. Yes, this is the geolocation that we are setting up as we speak now.
So, everybody, you heard that. If you want to track his adventures, because we're going to track it here on the Mindful Muscle podcast, we'll have several episodes while he's still doing the 50K in 50 days in 50 states. So, I can't wait till you get here to Oklahoma because I'm going to join you, walk a little with you on the 23rd. And so that'll be fun. And because you're in Oklahoma City on the 23rd of May.
Correct. You want to do the whole 50K with me?
No. Hey, but hey, I still got to preach the next day. I got 3 little kids I got to prepare. I'm doing Daniel. I'm doing the book of Revelation Friday night. So I got to prepare for that. But I'll definitely come out and walk at least 5K with you.
Okay, good. It's a deal. Since you said you got 3 kids, okay, you're let off the hook. That's priority.
I,
Family.
I'm an older father. Even though I'm 52, I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So
Wow. Okay.
people ask me all the time, why do you work out so often? And it's because I want to be around for their age, right? I'm not preparing
Right.
for a show or for 50K in 50 days, right? I want to have quality of life. That being said, before we wrap this up, you're a runner, right? And so do you, we recommend right here on the Mindful Muscle podcast, because even though I'm not working as a trainer, I have my NASM certification. Jodi's a personal trainer as well. How do you incorporate strength training in your routine? Because I know you're mainly a runner, but you have to be incorporating some strength.
Yes, you're correct. I sometimes use just dumbbells myself at home. I do push ups, I do squats, I do planks. Yes, I'm making sure because, again, listening to my coach now, previously I was just focused on getting out and doing the miles, but I am committed and I know the importance of muscle strengthening. Absolutely. But one of the advantages of race walking is that there's a big body movement, but it's not giving the muscle strengthening that you get from weights. I know
Mhm.
that. Walking is better than running because of the movement of the
The-
walk comes from the swing of the arms. But still, the importance of muscle strengthening is key. And you notice when I began, I said of the 50 million 65 and over, they are not getting aerobic or muscle strengthening, which
mhm.
both are critical. And you're exactly right. Yeah. Because I'm a runner, I don't want to bulk up, as you guys
Mhm.
know. The runners are the skinnier guys, and the less weight you have, the faster you can go. But you do need overall toning of the body. So
Mhm.
absolutely, I'm with you guys on
Yeah,
that
no,
muscle strengthening.
you don't see no Kenyan who weighs 230 pounds winning these marathons.
Correct. Yes, I jokingly call myself a Kenyan. In fact, I spent about 5 months in Kenya in 2023 on while I was retired, and I would joke with them that I'm a Kenyan runner.
Hi,
And I
Jody.
did the Nairobi Marathon there in October with other Kenyans who were at the university, but all of them did the half marathon. I was the only one to do the full. So I was the
Wow.
real Kenyan.
Kenyan for the day.
Yes.
Before I ask my final question, I just wanted to say I really appreciate getting to speak to you because even at 43, I hear women in their 30s and 40s saying, "Oh, it's too late." And you are absolute living proof that it's never too late. But with that in mind, if you could speak to your younger self or even your future grandchildren or family members, what would you want them to take away from this 50-50-50 journey?
Number one, in a certain sense, anything is possible. And that's in the context of the accident I had. And I still have a titanium in my right foot. I still got physical problems. However, if you make a choice, and again within bounds, and you then begin to work on regularity, not rigidity. That's another important thing I've learned.
Hmm.
Too many of
Yes.
us, we start a program, we are rigid, we fail, we get discouraged. I want to say, make a choice, get involved in something with sufficient regularity, and stick to it as best possible. Life will get in the way every now and then. Don't give up. Get back up and keep on. And you will see as you move along better progress. Don't assume because you're young, you're strong. That was an assumption I made years ago, and I was so
Hmm.
wrong about that. Okay. I was in my 20s and I thought I'm a vegetarian back then, now vegan. I'm an Adventist. I live the health message. I went out and I suffered with massive blisters. I found out how unfit I was. Too many young people think I'm young, I'm fit. No, unless you begin to take care of your body, even when you're young, and form excellent habits of regularity, you begin to reap the benefits daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. And it is so much fun when I go out and I run a 5K with a 15 or a 20-year-old and they are puffing. And that's the kind of fun. Hey, and then not only that, but then I can teach them things because they look at me, wow, what can I do? Show me this because they're open to learn. So I go out, I am 73, and I will go out and work out with kids who are young enough to be my grandkids or even great grandkids and to encourage them, to inspire them. So that's it. Make a choice, get involved in something regularly. If you make mistakes or quit, get back up, keep at it, and sooner than later, you will begin to see and feel the benefits of living healthfully and you will enjoy it.
Amen for that. Thank you, Ron, for this amazing episode. I want to put the website up again for those who want to help. Seniorstrides.org. We'll put it in the show notes. There's a donate button, and obviously, you can follow the journey there in all the states he's going to be. The calendar is there, and we
All
are
right.
cheering you on, and we'll be keeping track of you. And once again, thank you for being on the Mindful Muscle podcast.
Hey, thank you, Gio. Thank you, Jody. It was awesome. And for those who listen, they'll see this later on. God bless you. And join us if you can, virtually or even live in one or two of the cities we'll be in. May God bless.
Amen for that.